Hi, this is Maggie at Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Friday, July 23rd, 2021. The address we're inspecting today is 2914 Northeast Knott Street, Portland, Oregon, 97212. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the basement clean out. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras on the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, it is to be noted that some aged sewer pipes made out of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, and Orangeburg may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspections must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made of cast iron ABS 3034 or HDPE pipe with all appropriate fittings and couplings. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends placing any sewer pipe that does not meet these specifications. Here we go. We are in a 4-inch cast iron pipe. We are running some water from the laundry room sink to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout this inspection. We are headed towards the driveway area and we're going to transition to ABS. So just about 3 feet when we transition to ABS piping. A little bit of marginal pitch through that area, but not too bad. A little bit flat through there. Looks like it's quickly improving. There's 10 feet. Now we're twisting and we're heading towards the street in front of the house, running right up the gut of the driveway. All of the joints, junctions in the pipe, at least that we've seen so far, appear to be glued and watertight. Pretty uneventful so far. Now we're going to transition. We're passing 45 feet or approaching 45 feet right now. As we hit the sidewalk area, we're going to start diving straight down on the ground. It's not uncommon as you hit the bottom of this dive to have a little bit of standing water. In our case today, it looks like they did pretty good. Looks like we transitioned to terracotta clay tile. There is a little bit of a rough connection at the clay tile pipe. So it looks like probably everything on the property has been improved or updated with plastic piping. And then of course as we hit the sidewalk and then venture out into the roadway, we have the old terracotta, world famous terracotta clay tile piping. Now this is a soft material. This terracotta clay tile piping is no longer being used. So we'd recommend inquiring with the City of Portland, Clean Water Services, or the powers that may be to see if this is on schedule for updating. And again, my hunch is that probably most of the sewer piping on the property has been nicely improved or updated, but once we hit the sidewalk and then venture out into the road, this is a branch off of the city lateral. So the lateral piping out there in the roadway, which is the city's, is going to be clay tile also. And this is a branch off of it, and then the private owners tied their sewer pipe into this branch off of it. And so again, I think most everything on the property has been improved or updated. And then as you hit the branch and then you go out into the road, there's terracotta clay tile. And there is some scraggly roots coming through right here. So about 76 feet, there is a little, very, very scraggly, tiny little roots, but there are some roots that have found their way in at a joint, probably like a small shrub root or a grass root. So we'd recommend inquiring with the City of Portland if their portion, the lateral piping out in the roadway, is on schedule for updating, and also whose responsibility that would be. And again, I'm guessing it's Portland, since you're just a few feet from dropping in on top of the lateral. So this is officially, let me put that water for me. This is officially the end of buyer-owner responsibility, 82 feet. And like I said, very, very cool that most of it, all through the front of the property, all under the driveway and everything, has been nicely improved or updated with a modern plastic piping. So very, very cool that they did that. That was a big project, that was expensive. And then my hunch is, once it got to where they couldn't do anymore, they left the older city piping in place and had to just tie into that. So a couple of things we'd recommend inquiring with the city to determine if their portion of the piping is on schedule for updating at some point. Most of the old terracotta clay tile, Orangeburg, just different older materials, is on schedule to be updated, and it may be years, but most of it's on schedule to be replaced or updated. So we'd recommend inquiring about that. And then also there is some root intrusion. If that ever caused a problem, whose issue is that? Who would be responsible for repairing that section? And then also, anytime roots have come through, if a repair isn't made, then of course some maintenance could be required in the form of cutting those out or whatever. But at this point, they are just the most minor little ineffectual things. So again, we started in cast iron for about 3 or 4 feet. We transitioned to plastic. We stayed in plastic all the way through the front yard driveway area. Once we hit around the sidewalk area, we transitioned into that city branch, and the branch is clay tile, and then out into the city lateral at around 82 feet. I would say the sewer pipe needs some attention, and just like I mentioned, really cool that most of it's been replaced, but just getting some more information before closing. One more thing we'd like to add into the sewer inspection. As we reach here, it looks like there's at least the potential that another pipe could be tying in here. There is water flowing through that pipe, and we've already turned off our water, so there's nothing from our pipe really coming through except for this trickle from when the dishwasher was draining. But yeah, we pretty much have all of the water stopped at this point, and you can see that a good amount of water is coming from somewhere else. So we'd also recommend inquiring with city records to determine if there is a known shared party line in the neighborhood, and if that would ever need some attention in the form of having to separate or whatever. So again, a handful of things that we would like to get some information from the city. Whose responsibility? Where does it end? And then is there the possibility that we're sharing a sewer pipe with a neighbor, or is this the end of our responsibility? Which might even be better news if this is the end of our responsibility. So again, there's a handful of questions, handful of information we'd love to get from the city. Again, we're not running any water, but as you go here, you can see water is definitely flowing down from this other pipe from some other source. And it's a dry, hot summer day, so it's definitely not rainwater tying in from freshwater drains or anything like that. So the concern would be that we're sharing with a neighbor, and that's okay, except for a lot of times it's recommended that that be separated, or it's actually being made. Oh, see, there it is. Oh no, that one's coming from us. So a lot, like I said, a handful of information from the city would be recommended. There you see it right there. Somebody just flushed the toilet, and a big swoosh of water just came through from this other pipe. So what we want to know is this at 62 feet from the clean out in the basement, is this the end of responsibility, or we're definitely sharing? If the responsibility is that traditional lateral that we were at previously down at the end of the terracotta clay tile, then of course we are sharing a sewer pipe.